Welcome back, everybody, to Spirit Plays More Spiral Knights. Before we begin, if you could please click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Anyway, dude, it's Tordo time. Freaking Tordo time. And, I mean, this guy said, hey, make a party. And I'm like, alright. He's like, I'll pay you 1K credits. And I said score because I make no money. Ever. But hey. It's like, I'm not paying you money. Yeah, it's okay. I don't mind it. Handgun. Boom. So what else are we looking for here? I think, we can do this with just these two, I believe. And who knows, maybe he's a poor soul. So, oh, boo. We gotta do the solo. Alright, whatever. So we'll rock out the prestige, and then we'll do the turtle thing. But speaking of Tordo thing, my apologies. Two parts to this. One, I think this is like the second or third consecutive year that I actually did the Tordo thing, just the prestige, and that's it. So I got like one or two keys. So I have a couple ancient shells. Would be nice to make a Tordo weapon. That way you technically have the bomb, the sword, and the gun. They're all in one, right? So we're gonna keep the ancient shield on. I know that is on my to-do list to make into hopefully 10 star level 10. Get out of here, Mike. I remember you give me power. But last night, speaking of turtles, the girls and I, whoa! I was reminded about how awesome it is to have adults grow up, or sorry, children grow up to be adults, because these days we have cartoons, imagination stuff. It used to be just that. You can tell it was hand drawn, etc. But now we missed all of them. Well done. But now, like the Ninja Turtle movie, the first one, I don't even know how many there are now. 2, 3, who knows? But the first one, the first scene, what made me fall in love with the movie, oh no, is the scene where Shredder first walks in to the turtle camp after they get done beating up all the foot soldiers because they're like 7 times their size, and Shredder and Splinter go at it, and I know that Splinter sort of loses, but not really, because he was distracted. That's an excuse I use because I'm a Splinter fan. But like the first scene when he walks in there, and he just like he doesn't even look at Shredder. He just like blocks with the sword a couple times, and then gives him a side snap to the ribs. And we were watching it last night, so one of the things we're doing, I have to give you some context, right? One of the things we have been doing is because people are kind of averse to contact with each other at the moment. It's just a natural theme of fear going on in the country. This is just my opinion. You're obviously entitled to your own views. But how do you become a practicing martial artist without making contact? And so we run into this issue, and you kind of remind me of the Reaper and Catacomb Kids, the way you dodge. We run into this issue where how are we going to practice contact and sparring and give and take and spatial relations and knowing your body if we're not touching each other and not practicing grappling? And I know they probably just work around this and they just don't care when it comes to professional fighting. We're not professional fighters. We just, like, spar. I mean, you can call it what it is eventually if you want to get, like, reach the prestigious black belt rank. You're going to have to make contact. Sparring's just a thing. Shame on us as instructors if we do not, teach you how to make contact with another person. So a friend of mine who we've been actually thinking about starting a dojo is we were getting together every Friday night and sparring, and he brought another student with him who was interested as well. But it's and I'm sure there are other exceptions to this. So we just got done with fight night, and when 2 adults fight, the rule is no contact. We control contact to the head, but it happens. Like I hit him in the when you get to a point of you're so fast, sometimes you'll zig when you should zag, and it's just gonna why is this here? What? All right, I'll save my potions. I'm actually gonna have to use the potions on the lichen. Ooh. Keep Can you just chill for a minute? Oh, let me come take care of this guy. Or yeah, there we go. That works out. Just kind of segregate that guy for a minute. I know the Griffin doesn't get much love, but we got it. But anyway, so we're just hyped off of that. He's got like a bloody lip, some bruised ribs, and we spar in my summer house, so it's he's still coming. So it's quite confined. There's room for like one match, which is kind of neat because then you get to critique each other's styles, give some feedback, especially for the students. It's a good thing. No, we want this one, and then hopefully he takes a little bit more damage from this. Should we? Oh jeez. Ooh. Thank you, shield. Oh my gosh, go get him. This is how we do it. Shoot the whoop. I hit the wrong button. I meant to do this one. That's alright. We'll still, I mean, it's not impossible. We can do it. It's just going to take a long time. I didn't expect to see you here in the prestige mission. Usually it's one-sided. We don't have to worry about, you know, you might kill me out. We don't have to worry about little things like danger rooms. Actually, those are pretty big things, and I kind of wish there was some here, but you know what I mean? Little stuff, little things. I think we should go left first. Eventually get a feel for this, but I could probably be wrong. Valance might have been a better choice as well for the neutral damage. Maybe I should have taken that. But I like the 6 shot here. But anyway, I'm kind of getting off topic. But I guess I started getting off topic, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But anyway, we were just fresh off of sparring. And then I walk in, because my wife said, well, we're sparring like 6 to 8 p.m. We had a little 2-hour segment. I'm sparring, and I'm like, all right, honey, you got charged with the kids. It's family night, no tech. I forgot to follow up to see if she's giving singing lessons to my daughter. So I forgot to follow up with that, so I got to do that today. I'm like, you got this? She's like, all right, I got this. And like, let's watch Ninja Turtles, because my 4-year-old has been so hyped on the Turtles, dude. For some reason, she's like, I want to watch Powerpuff Girls. Actually, Daddy, I'm just kidding. I want to watch Ninja Turtles. And she gets this fierce look on her little 4-year-old face, like, I want to watch Ninja Turtles. They gotta beat Shredder. I'm like, yeah, they do. I love you, little girl. You know, reliving my childhood moments because of other children, adult children with money, which is kind of what we all are eventually. Adult children with money? No. Ah, shield, you win. Whoosh. You think this thing would be more than 2 times stronger than a Swift Strike, but it is just pure neutral resistance. So we get done. I cannot hit this guy. He's just beyond hitting. We get done with sparring. I walk in, and my favorite scene's just playing. She started the movie like an hour and a half later, so we went to bed extremely late last night compared to how we usually do. We're kind of like late or early. Like I go to bed with my kids. I feel it's a good way to sync up our schedules a bit. Sorry, I was checking on something. Okay, I guessed wrongly. Let's go back the other way. We do want to min-max a little bit. Also, if you hear a loud rumbling, that would be my cat in my lap. The purring was pretty intense. I think he forgets how to purr when he's just like, the warmth of the lap kind of gets you kind of involved. Like, I don't know if that's a good way to put that. Just in case there are more Pierce monsters, I think we should probably take. Yeah, come on out, buddy. Since there's no way, can I drop it? I can't just drop it, can I? No, that's old school. When you used to be able to drop things for other players, now you can't even take it out of your inventory. Like you're stuck. So let's say I don't want to activate the mobile shocking unit. What do I do then? Not use it. But what if I want? You know what I mean? The game, this layout here doesn't think about me. It's all about me. Let's go little speed. There we are. So, I mean, I do have, backing up to like the third layer of topics, I do have some of the glyphs. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get a key card and go to the Torto room. But if we don't, then I don't know what to do. We'll figure something out. Join a party, perhaps. That is like the goal. The ancient plate's coming along just nicely. Maybe we'll do some Dreams and Nightmares again. You know, we got time. When you're a casual, grindy player, you know, 5 years, 30 years to make a 5-star weapon, whatever. Also, just noticed this hat. Actually, it's the first part of my name on it, which I thought was neat. And my other hat, because it's outside, right? But basically the summer house, has a lack of insulation, and Yeah, so I have an electric heater out there. Oh my gosh, we get friends. Thank goodness. What do you think, Mike? Should we take them? I don't think the game will let us go through unless we open them up, from what I remember. But I don't honestly forget. Either way. They're nice distraction targets. You might think, hey, why does that guy not have auto-target on so he could just ease with his aiming? And I have such... Yeah, it wouldn't let us through unless we open them up. I have such a strong bad taste in my mouth from what that has done to the game. And the... Whoa! And the community and lack thereof. Because I mean, everybody wanted PvP and lock... Oh, I thought it was going to hit me. PvP and lockdown to be a thing. Not everybody, but... You know what I mean? It was neat, because that's usually the general progression of things. You know, you can look at a lot of games like this. You can barely survive one hit of that. That is amazing. Should probably just off you. Even though I think they're doing like 10 damage to the guy every hit with their little swords. But, I mean, it just wasn't meant to be, I guess. I do follow Nick on Twitter. He played... What, the Octa Traveler or something like that, I forget. Just in case I don't want to get by his bikes. Octopath? I forget what the name of that game is, but like, yeah, anyway. Also downloaded Slime Rancher, which you probably could see on the channel. It is a lot of fun. It's one of those games, like, I can't help but filter, like, my kids love it, therefore it is good. Like, that's the general dad rule of these kind of things. And if the adults can enjoy it on top of that, I mean, that's when you got quality right there. Why should something push the extreme values of culture and go for shock value? Why is that considered good? It's very difficult to you know, when we think of goodness, now I'm trying to get too deep on philosophy, but it's just, you know, what you're into. If you're watching the channel and you're watching this stream, video especially, just, you'll notice this is kind of the route we always go. Reason, clarity, insight, and philosophy. And if my philosophy is bad, and you're listening to this, please challenge it. Please leave a comment down below, because I like critical thinking. And if my line of truth does not line up with reason, based on evidence, then this is one of the reasons I believe in peer-reviewed education. You can educate yourself. Yeah, this kind of, you think this would go without saying, right? I get a degree, so therefore I can get a job. But usually it's not all kind of right, because I know plenty of people are way smarter than people with degrees. That, and you get the argument of authority going on, just because, you know, you have a degree in sociology, therefore you should listen to me. Well, that's like saying, you know, again, I've made this analogy a couple times, so please forgive me, but it's like saying, you know, there's a cop and he tells you to shoot somebody and gives you a gun. Well, should you shoot it, or should you be like, I've never shot anybody, maybe I should hold up on judgment for this one? The argument of authority is a bad one. But anyway, I forget where I was going with on that tangent. We forgot the one up here. Philosophy and critical thinking. Like, all this stuff is just, it's vital. Seeing through the layers of things, when we're talking about masks and gender equality, meaning and purpose, that kind of thing. You know, it's good to use your mind. Most people will agree on this. If you do not, please, okay, leave a comment about mindlessness, and I will use my mind to respond to it. But we should get the turtle shield. Shield? Yes. Maybe not the gun. The perk on the shield as opposed to the gun. Well, the gun we can use in lockdown, but I haven't played a lockdown match in like a month. The shield, however, makes you look amazing. And when it comes to you know, end game content, the ones the players have built for themselves. What was her name? Manava? Was it her? She has like a costume feature list, like once in a while, which I thought was just really cool. Like, wow, I've never seen any of these guys' costumes before, because I only play during a certain time in the day. Why are you guys coming to me? You're invincible. You just do 10 damage a pop. Go in there. Yeah, okay, I deserve that one. I told you guys to go in there. I'll go get this heart instead. Oh. I mean, we are just making the shield, so we should spend a little bit to enjoy, rather relish in the enjoyment. Let's pop this one because we'll be in here for a minute. Some extra DOT when we're point blank range with the enemy is kind of nice. DOT. I guess it's supposed to be a little bit more than that since it's a shield, but it is DOT. It pings them once in a while. I was part of this level before where this block here didn't enact, and I was stuck. I think it was like depth 27, 28. You know, these days, before, it used to be like, yo, come help me, and then someone would come help you. Now if you submit a bug report or say, hey, I'm stuck, yeah, good luck, buddy. So you're probably going to be sitting there until you reset. It's just the way the things are right now. Don't worry, I got you guys. He needed one more hit. You couldn't even see his life total. So as far as episodes go for this one, the one thing I do enjoy is that this is one of the games where I can really continue on a train of thought from start to finish for a very long time, provided I don't lose my own train of thought, which happens when you become, you know, an adult child. So maybe once a week, because yeah, I'm all for revisiting, and enjoying the, you know, the finer things in life. Which this is one of them. You know, some of you guys watching played this game in like your teens, maybe your early 20s. Well, that was me. I played in my late 20s, 10 years old. Yeah, late 20s when I started. Somewhere, yeah. So I mean, games are fun through all the ages. And fantasy, like, how else would like the Chronicles of Narnia and Lord of the Rings have been written, right? And those look amazing. I'll shock you guys, and then Mike will take care of you. I just heard this music. Wow, you. Oh, when else are we gonna use the pills? I will forever be more of a fan of the Griffin rather than a Blitz. Maybe, because there's no hype videos of killing Vanaduke with a Griffin, right? So maybe that can be my claim to fame and how I become a YouTube millionaire. Griffin only. No one's gonna watch that. I mean, well, maybe you would, I don't know. But the pro, there's plenty of matches out the matches, feats and films of people doing, we should do this, and we should do this. People doing like Vanaduke and Proto Gear. That's not me. I never. We're probably gonna get hit a whole bunch here. I never gave into the Vanna hype. I still haven't. Like, I'd rather play the Clockworks, dude. It's just so much more variety, and it just looks neater. I know it's for time efficiency's sake. You got people running Vanna in like what 10 minutes or something ridiculous. I don't even know what the current world record is. Ooh, oh, that's a friend. But it's ridiculous fast. And if you have a good teammate, okay, you're just gonna knock him around. I'm just gonna pull my shield up and get hit by the guy. I mean, shoot him. My record is like 30, 40 minutes. Hey, man. That's why I say, man, nice shot. We poison you, just do a little bit more. Yeah, da, da, da. 177. Oh my gosh, we're frozen. Get out of there. That was some tactical maneuvers right there, buddy. Gotta say, I'm a little impressed. This is what I mean. Like, they're amazing for just being targets. Like, the Trojan's totally busy up there. I can pick off the little guys. And this guy was just like cherry picked by the other dude. If you don't know what cherry picking means, is that I guess that means that the professional NBA has been shut down for way too long. That's right. I play basketball. Me and my 5'6" self. Dunking was out of the question. But I could get the ball into the circle. Takes basic math. Sort of. Wacha. Advanced math, maybe? Everybody has some math in them, right? Because you look at the physics of the world, because it's all the abstract numbers are all based on the reality itself anyway. Do we do it? Back to Haven. Look at that familiar little icon. Should have made that the icon for the thumbnail. Hey-oh. More shinings, thank goodness. Dude, I've seen people with like 50, 60,000 shinings. If we could just have 100 to 1 trade value, even that seems absurd, right? How long do you have to grind? You stay in? My right leg's becoming a paralyzed cat. I can't keep it as it is. Okay, there we go. We all have to change once in a while. You start to atrophy and get bed sores if you don't. So let's see how many we need. Brother, how many we got? Glyphs. Well, if we need 5 of each, I don't have enough here. I think it's up 2D. Can I trade here? I forget. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for whatever I do when I don't remember you. It's a black cat. It's a black cat. That's just the food, right? Yeah. And the special vending machine should be up here. Hope you guys love loading screens. Wow. Dude, it is so cold and windy today. I got a coffee appointment in roughly like an hour. Not looking forward to braving the cold, but I'm looking forward to delicious coffee. It's one of the luxuries that I'm over here that I miss spending money on consistently. But actually, at the same time, I'm doing pretty good. Like I don't ID card. What do we got? Yeah, man, we need a fiendish. So, can we buy those on the auction house? No, they're bound. You know, I never knew you could just put a pod in here and just transmute it. I have not explored every venue in the game. So let's do... So we can't do this. So let's go DNN. Sure, we'll get some friends. Shouldn't take us more than a few minutes to do this. Working on our potential... We'll keep the Ancient Shield, because we'll get some heat out of it. I didn't even see you here, buddy. Oh. Vanaduke. Vanaduke. We have a Dreams and Nightmares later, right? D and N. Actually, have a Vanaduke. You know, we also got to level up our Blitz. The Vanaduke loadout just has a voltage. That's funny. You know what? I think that's made. That was made back before. Let's remove this one. Back when I had just the 4-star Blitz. I remember getting the Plague Needle as my first, like, Blitz type weapon. Sorry, second Blitz type weapon. The first Blitz type weapon I ever got was the Pepper Box. Back when it vacuumed people into you. And I kept every, like, it usually happened, like, once a day. I'd be like, there's got to be a way to use this effectively. There isn't. Just like the Amulet of Void on Catacomb Kids. It sucks things into you and destroys the tiny things. But it gets you killed every time. And you turn black as your character, and it really looks amazing. Great concept. I just can't figure out how to make it work, man. I'm kind of the same way here. Well, I mean, the Pepper Box obviously has changed, but it'd be neat if we had it again. Closest thing that we have is the Graviton Bomb and the Pseudo-Ruska combo, or basically anything else. You know, doing math. We did the math before. So if you do math on here, if you skip the cutscene, I know it's been done before. You can actually do, like, in the course of like 100 runs, like 10, 20 extra runs or something ridiculous like that. My friend and I used to play Dungeon Defenders, and in that game, you all right? In that game, he had the Xbox controller, and I'd play on the keyboard. We'd do split screen. And the issue we had there is, like, if you have the Xbox controller, which I think is still not updated to this day, you could not quick start the level. You'd have to walk up to the crystal, and so if there's no crystal, and you're just trying to survive, well, yeah, there's some issues. You basically have to wait a full minute. And so we're like, you know, the course of, like, a 4-hour night of gaming, we could play, like, 10 extra matches or something like that if you could only just quick start the level. He's like, I know, I'm sorry. But it is what it is. We couldn't, to my knowledge, you can't hook up 2 individual keyboards and have them do, you know, like one keyboard be for one guy, one keyboard for another. Maybe you can. I'm sure there's got to be a way on the internet to do that somehow. I don't know. But Dreams and Nightmares is roughly the same way. I love the snowball effects. Okay. Snowball effects. Ah! I didn't raise my shield in time. That time we did. Mike, you want to help me out here, buddy? Give me a damage bonus, maybe? I don't think that was the wrong thing to do. That's okay. I don't know what the slime over there is. Oh, Valayan. I forgot she was even a thing. She's not a person. She's a thing. Easy. Easy. Neutral defense is nice. Especially when dealing with the... Can you shoot the puppy dog? Here we are. Don't worry about the skeleton. You can dodge things. I've done it before. Ah! I mean, plow into them. There, see? Yeah, we did it. We're also getting an extremely large amount of hearts, which is kind of nice, too. First world problems. I shoot my gun, that guy appears. What the heck is going on? Nope. Here. Give me that sweet, sweet damage bonus, yo. Okay, watch out. The dash is also a good way to just flush the enemy. Like the little dots, they go away. Boom. Not to mention retarget. That's 2 consecutive shots we missed every enemy. Help. Valayan, what are you doing? Okay, we got a heart. 1 hit protection. Yeah. We got a 7% health. We are still at the peak of our performance. See you exit. It's that time, dude, where the tiny people are going to start waking up. Fresh off of... Speaking of Dreams and Nightmares, they just did watch the Ninja Turtles, which is, you know, kind of one of the best things ever. So I wonder what kind of dreams they've been having. Here. Oops. Here. Oh, sorry. Actually, I have to go in there. It's switch button combos. Easy. You know what I should do? I have the graphics download just to make sure that the gameplay is... I need to get out of the way. Or just help me open the path. I don't know how it looks when we turn everything up in here. It's just been a while. Totally didn't even see him, dude. I was so looking everywhere else. Alright, I mean, no harm done. Just, you know, by the way, this is a very long first floor. I've had them where they take like 2 or 3 minutes to do. This is not one of them. This might be a little longer than normal. Anyway, to start my day, I'm just rocking out regular black coffee, off-brand. We go to an off-brand store these days. If we choose to go to the popular commerce marts, which are Walmart and Giant, spend like maybe $200 a week on foods. Plus, that's not counting the compulsive like grabs. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. Okay, yeah, let's get to snack kids. Okay, you know, that kind of thing. used to call him Gnome for so long. You know, the compulsive stuff like that. Go to Aldi's, which is I want to say like an overstock venue, and spend like under $100 a week. When you're feeding 4 people in your household, that counts packing your kids' lunches and stuff like that. Pretty good, pretty good. So I'd recommend looking into that if you have not done it before. Every buck you have counts when it comes to, you know, trying to help the next generation succeed. Speaking of next generation, if you guys listen to the, no, let's not do it. Let's not do it. We can go, like, I used to go into politics once in a while, but yeah, I'm just, oh, you punk. The more I play games, the more I'm like, we can raise important issues that are amazingly foundational, that are actually the reason, because reason's huge, at least in my brain, in my life, the reason why things are important, and one political choice can be better than the other. One of the things that so that we can talk about, instead of just direct policies, we can talk about politics in general, right? So this Saturday, today, I'm going to go to a coffee shop. I invite people there constantly for conversation. I don't even know what you do. Nothing. Okay. You get paid to just sit there and be a switch. Speaking of switches, but anyway, we gotta have conversation with people, and it's what happens is usually, because I am a fan of one's policies over another, I usually end up defending, or I end up being put in a place where I have to justify my claims by defending a person in their entirety, and I fail immediately by saying, yo, I ain't gonna look to this guy for moral value or judgment. You gotta really, that's not what I'm about. This might hurt. Yeah, shields. You know, just, it's when you make choices, sometimes you're faced with 2 bad ones. This is the politics 101. People will not agree. As a politician, you have to, your whole job is to find balance, or attempt to, and negotiate. This is like this was brought up in the last presidential debate. You got to negotiate with them, saying that there's no compromise. There's nothing I'm going to compromise on. Does injustice to your role as a politician. Your whole goal is to try to compromise the culture, to come up with stuff that, you know, eventually you won't have. You have huge amounts of hate crimes. You won't have unrest. And what happens is usually, when it comes to, if you look at the history, here we go, history lessons, right? Of times when there is unrest, of times when there are revolts, there are riots, or you can call them peaceful protests, but when you see things burning in the streets, you can call it one thing, but if it looks like another, odds are it's probably what it looks like. Actions speak louder than words, right? If I tell you I'm not hitting you, but I'm punching you in the face, what am I really doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like you can call it what it is, but the whole point is not to justify one or the other. The point is to, you know, say the what happened there is, whenever there's any kind of revolt like that, like there was recently one with Apple, I think in Africa, because they were paying them $7 a month. That's very difficult to live off of if you you know, give that like 5 seconds of critical thinking, or even like a fraction of a second of critical thinking. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that might be caught. So how far do we go in this country before we take that step, right? Because maybe it's not $5 a month, but even like, what, $600 every, how much did they give us, the stimulus? You know what I mean? Like what is the stopping point? Where does this end? When do you finally take a stand? Because it's when the people themselves don't have a voice, and their voice is not heard, especially in the ruling class. And when you say the words like ruling class, I'm like, we don't have a dictatorship, we don't have you know, a monarchy or anything like that, or a patriarchy or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's true, hello cat. But they're still the ones that govern us. They're still the ones that try to appeal us and make our country reconcile to itself. So that, you know, it's just finding the source and the reason behind what makes one person think one thing, one person think another, and then examining that with what is being done by the ruling class. I mean, that and how we should act as people. is very important as well. Should we just riot? Should we just take over the government? What's going to take its place? Because there's going to be a vacuum there for, this is the one of the justifications about why America is like center stage in the world as far as like, you know, stopping or starting wars. But corruption is so rampant, it's hard to even know what's true. You know what I mean? George Orwellian laws. Right? People who claim the Orwellian but never read the book 1984. If you haven't read 1984, I have not read 1984 in its entirety. I read the book which I thought was closer to America, which was Aldous Huxley's A Brave New World. The philosophy that there's a drug for everything. Nothing is sacred. We all share each other. What's it called? Soma. Whenever you're feeling anxiety, you take this pill. Whenever you're feeling rage, you take this pill. You take this pill because it increases your chemical breakdown ability of your body, so you always stay skinny. And there's too much to know. Like all the information's available there to anybody who wants to seek it, but there's so much to know. Why bother trying? Like that's the mantra. When you could just take a pill of Soma and be fine and enjoy life. And there's different classes, like the working class, and they breed people to having different intelligences based on what their working class is. You know, so besides the breeding part, which I mean, maybe you can kind of make a step toward that. When we have the religion of self, that's completely I hate you so much. Completely glorified in the American paradigm. You know, it's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Happiness assumes joy. It doesn't say the pursuit of pleasure, because pleasure is fleeting. Joy is everlasting. It undergirds, not undermines, everything you are and you do. Oh, so we go to the Constitution, right? Then we have to understand the Constitution was actually founded with the, Christian values. It's very tough to deny this, because it says endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. That's in the Constitution. So it's very difficult to get around this kind of stuff unless you abandon reason and history and you want to rewrite things to say what you want them to say as opposed to what they actually did say. So we go to coffee shops and we talk about stuff like this. Because it's one thing to theory craft, one thing to find truth, and one thing to get to the source. It's a totally different thing to, okay, now what do we do? Because, as I said before, right, if I tell you I'm not hitting you, but then I actually do, what am I doing? If I say I care about these things, but I don't do anything, like they're serious issues, they should be cared about, then how do we live this out in our life? That's kind of like the whole philosophy of my current being, anyway. Trying to figure out what to do with myself. I don't have money for education, so I'm self-educating, for lack of a better word. I'm part of the C.S. Lewis Institute, which doesn't require money, but it's a mentor-mentee program, which is very lost in this culture. That's where I get most of the motivation and the incentive to conversate at a higher level within my, I guess, window of philosophy, theology. I thought I got you all. I guess not. But dude, I love, my most favorite thing ever is to take, same with like martial arts, right? How do you know your stuff works unless you test it? That's why sparring comes in handy. Well, if I don't have conversations with those that disagree with me and bounce my thoughts off of those who, have a working mind, and sure, maybe the undergirding of their philosophy might have a different source, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. So if my talking points can't stand up to reason, what am I doing? Should I just violate them and be like, I'm going to believe whatever I want to believe? Or should I change my mind based on truth? Because sometimes when you change your mind based on truth, you have to, everything you even feel is wrong. You got to change. You got to switch. Nintendo Switch, which I wish I had. But, speaking of Switch, we are due for another computer. I think one of the last straws that we got was the Nintendo Switch to computer, right? Was the Outer Wilds resetting like 3 times during a stream. That was so frustrating, dude. Oh my gosh. So I'm not really okay, let's stop getting hit by stupid stuff. The Outer Wilds resetting, and then losing my save file because the Outer Wilds reset. That was, my wife was like, I don't want to play this game ever again. I'm like, no, we can do this. This game is an infinite time loop, so theoretically you can just, start the game and finish it in 5 seconds. I have not looked up anything, but my wife did look up about Dark Bramble. If you have not seen Outer Wilds, I mean, you don't have to watch the ongoing series I got. It's basically the Twitch videos we've been doing every Tuesday and Thursday. Kind of split up day by day, so it doesn't overwhelm you on the channel. But I'd recommend just check. You can even look at the highlights or the ending, or I don't know. But it's an amazing game. But I showed a friend of mine I described it to him, and he immediately watched. I was thankful for this. He watched the stop running into the things that are consistently moving consistently. He watched just like the first 20 minutes of the first video, which is unfortunately kind of long because you start on the planet. It's like a giant tutorial. He's like, I love this, and he's like, I let my daughter drive the ship sometimes. She's a better pilot than I am. Like, she's 7. So it's a great family game. I mean, there are scary things. When you fly into the sun, or Dark Bramble itself gives both my wife and me heart attacks. You get so invested because you're in a foggy setting with like ominous music. Kind of like, I guess, parts of this game. Get him. This is just the part where it's like, I get lucky sometimes. Where the spikes don't hit me. That was the most effective shot I think I've done in my lifetime. Right into the nothing. Let's grab this heart so we don't die. Beautiful. Boom. Kind of in my way, buddy. Sorry. Didn't want to do it. Well, actually, I kind of have to because technically I can't complete this level unless we annihilate all of you guys. Boom. Beautiful. No. You know. I saw the new cosmetic boxes proposed on the is that it? Oh no, it's one more. On the forum, which people still do visit once in a while. It's like the first week of every month they're coming out with the new ones based on. I might actually pop some money into a box here. In the Good Spirit household. Oh my gosh, those things are so annoying. Anyway, one of the ways Dad's making some new disposable incomes by donating plasma, which is a very interesting experience. It's worth looking into because you donate plasma and they give you your blood back. So basically, we didn't get it. Basically, it kind of like makes you dehydrated, for lack of a better word, and you just like you can give a whole lot and then you come back and give a whole lot in 2 days. Oh well, you've been a victim of the freeze combo. Okay. Let us actually annihilate one of these guys. There we go. There we go. Okay. No. Having that go off is just a bad idea. The Griffin charge, though I do love America and everything that the Griffin stands for. I mean, I had a conversation with another guy. I found out was a fellow believer in Christ, deity, transcendence. Didn't believe in hell. So I mean, there's so many different factions, and hopefully they're undergirded by reason. If not, then we can. Then this again, that's the point of the coffee conversations. I'm going to invite him to have coffee with me, and let's talk about this because the workplace. The thing about the workplace is you have a motivation to get your thought out within a certain content of time. Like, I only have 15 minutes to talk to you, and then I got to go back to work. You know what I mean? So you have to conceptualize your thoughts in a time frame. But then if you want to hash it out, you want to actually have some good talking points. This is where the relational factor comes into play. There's a reason why we have voices and why we can understand and communicate body language. We are taught this from like infancy, so we can directly relate to another person. A friend of mine who's not a Christian, at least not in the traditional sense, believes strongly in language, and we were having a conversation about how words have power, and even especially from like a teaching context, like we're talking about knife fighting because he's a fellow black belt. I don't even want to, like, when you fight with knives, one of the first things I say is you might get cut. He's like, I don't even want to say that because I want you in your mind to be like, I'm going to succeed. So that's what you say, I'm going to succeed. I'm like, well, yeah, but you have to face the reality. You're going to happen. You have to accept it. Yeah, but I don't want to be cut. I don't even want to be cut. I'm just going to say I'm not going to be cut. In my mind, I'm like, okay. And I didn't have to. He was making a point, so I let him go for a bit. But what happens when you do? Like, if you haven't mentally prepared for this, they do this time in police officer training. This concept in police officer training. You know, somebody has a knife. Well, what if it's a child? Well, what if it's a teenager? What if they're drunk? What if they're blind and they're coming at you? And they're, you know, would you be willing to take them down? And that sounds horrible. This is like police officers and politicians have something in common. Sometimes you have to make horrible choices, and you have a fraction of a second to do it. And then our culture has the audacity to judge them because they didn't make the right choice in like 0.5 seconds, as if the culture itself is a giant mirror of morality that's perfection. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes this stuff just does not add up. Sure, people make bad choices. There should be some forgiveness. But, you know, unforgiveness is, whoa, it's just kind of rampant in our society lately. I would argue that's because of the internet. We have autonomy, but once you autonomize, you remove the autonomy, and you put that autonomy on a person and attach a name and a reality figure to it. It's like they discover the real you from the back door of your imagination. Let's see how many ratings we got. We actually did make it to level 8 on the Ancient Plate. Got 8, well, I know 18, but in total, I think we got a few more than that. As we approach the next loading screen, I just need a, where is it? Spirit. I can wear that like this, and I'll have my own hat. This is my own name brand name. Maybe I can have one of my daughters write Spirit on there for me. Hello. We ended at the same time. Try to wave to you. All right, I'm not good. No more loading screens. We're done. How many radiants do we have? So Ancient Plate. Thank goodness. Congratulations on your ascension. We can just do this. 47. Not enough. Not enough. Buy for 700. Sorry, dude. I'm not rich. Someday, perhaps. Anyway, that'll do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed it, click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. This will be the theme when we do these. I'm probably going to try to do one a week for Spiral Nights anyway. Maybe I'll hop in on the Torta drones if we happen to get more Fiendish Glyphs. Click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Deep thinking is where we go. And I'll see you next time. Take care.